Let's go live to our reporter for the region, Adam Pletz, who joins us from Beirut. Adam, can you just first tell us about this development? How big a setback is it, can we say, for the Islamic State group?
Well, these Kurdish fighters have cut the road between Islamic State group's de facto capital Raqqa and the town of Deir ez-Zor, which is largely controlled by Islamic State group, but there's also a government presence there and fighting between the two of them. Now, they still have roots out there because they control large swathes of a very sparsely populated desert area between Raqqa and Deir ez-Zor. But this is part of the gradual encirclement of Raqqa. And of course, it comes at a time when Islamic State group is under increasing pressure. Just last week, they lost the town of Palmyra to the Syrian government for a second time, in fact. And then, as you were just hearing in your package there, Mosul across the border in Iraq is being slowly but surely prized from their control. And then in the north of Syria, they're fighting not just against the Syrian army, but also against these US-backed, largely Kurdish fighters of the Syrian Democratic Forces, and also Turkish-backed opposition fighters of what they call Euphrates Shield operations. So all three of those groups have said that it's their intended goal to try and make it to Raqqa. It's probably not something that we'll see anytime in the immediate future, a little bit of time in the making. And out of those three groups at this present time, it seems most likely that the Syrian Democratic Forces will be the first to reach Raqqa, which is being slowly but surely isolated.
And Adam, just looking elsewhere in northern Syria, it seems that the Turks and the Kurds in Manbij are focusing their efforts more currently on fighting each other than on their common aim of defeating the Islamic State group.
Yes, this is definitely not a case where your enemy's enemy is your friend. That's because the Turks have made it very clear that the purpose of Operation Euphrates Shield isn't just to clear the area of Islamic State group fighters, but also of the Kurdish fighters, who they see as an extension of the PKK, Kurdish PKK fighters in Turkey, of course, are waging an insurgency there. So that's why we saw last week something of an unusual move with these US-backed Syrian Democratic Forces ceding some of the territory that they had to the west of Manbij and allowing the Syrian army to occupy that. That's because Erdogan had said that the Turks' next move would be to take the town of Manbij. And by ceding this territory to the Syrian army, the Kurds have essentially created a buffer for themselves there, waging that the Turks won't go on to fight against the Syrian army. That would be too much of an escalation. And now we've also seen that the Americans are saying that they're deploying a small force there, what they're calling a visible deterrent in and around Manbij, to prevent fighting between these US-backed Kurdish forces and the Turkish-backed opposition fighters.